Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys new here on my channel, my name is Alison and welcome back to my channel. So for this week video, we'll be testing out a new foundation, a new launch foundation, and it just came out last week I believe, and this is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. And if you guys are interested in watching more on the foundation review, please subscribe down below because I'll be testing out a lot of different foundation, and if you guys have combination, oily skin, this video might help you to pick on the foundation. So if you're not sure what shade you should get on the Cover FX foundation, I highly recommend to try out to purchase or look it online on their Cover FX official website, because they did really help find out what my shade and what it matches my skin tone. You just simply have to press find your shade and it kind of link to your Facebook Messenger and it kind of texts you and kind of communicate with you. It is very strange to kind of talk with the computer on the Facebook Messenger, but it did help me picking on this shade, and I feel like it really matches my skin tone right. So I highly recommend if you guys are lost on finding out what's your shade. So the shade that did match me is N30, and it is considered as a for light to medium light skin with neutral undertones. I do have neutral undertones, so it really matches my skin tone on this shade. Okay, so on this foundation, it retails for $44 on Sephora website and Cover FX official website. And this foundation, it claims to be a full coverage finish. It's a matte finish. And this foundation is only suitable for oily skin and combination skin. And I really like how a foundation claims to be only a specific skin type. Because nowadays I feel like a lot of foundation, it claims to be work for all skin type from dry to oily. But I don't feel like one foundation would work for all skin type because we do have a specific skin types. I really like how Cover FX brand, they are vegan and they're cruelty free. They're a clean beauty makeup brand, and this foundation, it claims to be long wearing liquid foundation, provides sweat proof, waterproof, transfer proof, and full coverage with a blurring modern matte finish. And this foundation is formulated to provide an invisible all-day shine control, and this foundation contains a trio ultra fine powders that weightlessly mattify without dueling and drying the complexion, and it's available in 40 shades that will not oxidize for perfect match that stays color true all day. And I have to agree, this foundation doesn't oxidize and it stays true to color when it applied to your face. And with all the claims on this foundation, I feel like it works better in the summertime, and during the springtime I would say these days it's a little bit drying and you guys might have to use something that is moisturized underneath your skin. On this area on my face, I get really dry these days, so I did use my moisturizer more on this section. So if you guys have combination skin, you guys have any dry patches on your face, any dry area, you guys have to prep it very nicely with any moisturizer that you have and the moisturizing primer, because this stuff is really mattifying. And even though on my forehead I can see a little fine lines and it is very mattifying, I'm telling you guys, and you guys have to prep it very nicely underneath this foundation. So now let's get to applying this foundation and see how it works on my oily skin. Okay, so primer today, I'll be using a lot of different primer because my face is kind of get dry this winter season and I don't know what's going on with my face. So I'm using a different primer today. I'll be using my L'Oreal Infallible Matte for my forehead because I do get oily on my forehead even though in the dry weather, and I'll be using my Too Faced Hangover Primer like around this area because this is the area that I get really dry if I have foundation on, you can tell. On the center of my face, I'll be using the Touch In So No Problem Primer. This is something that it kind of cancels my large pores on this area of my face. To apply this foundation, I'll be using my Sonia Kashuk sponge, and this is the new version that just came out. It has the marble thing going on. You guys know I love marble. You can see at the back of my table, it's all marble. I'm all about that. And also this is kind of huge than like a normal size sponge or beauty blender. But yeah, I'm recently just trying this out. I'm gonna use this much first. I feel like with the sponge it kind of absorbs the foundation, but that is the only way that I like to apply my foundation without using a brush. So I'm gonna go in with more foundation. I really don't like its packaging because it's so hard to squeeze out the foundation with a hard plastic bottle. I don't know, am I doing this right? Because I don't see a huge difference. It looks like my skin, and it doesn't cover up my redness around my nose. My acne scar, it doesn't cover up. And I know this is a huge active acne on my skin, and I don't expect to cover up this two thing right here, but I don't feel like it covers up the redness like on my forehead. There's an acne scar and pigmentation. I don't think it covers it up, but it does feel like my skin. So I'm gonna finish up on the other side of my face. Okay, so right off the bat, I can tell this foundation is a very matte finish. It's buildable. It doesn't feel cakey at all, and it feels very lightweight as it says. And if you guys are dry, you don't like this foundation because it kind of shows a little fine lines on my forehead, and that usually doesn't do with my other foundation because this is a very matte kind of coverage. And I feel like this is a very buildable foundation because when I layer a second layer on top of my face, it doesn't feel cakey at all. It still looks very natural, and I would say the coverage is medium coverage, and I wouldn't say it's a full coverage because of the active acne here and my redness on my face. It doesn't necessarily cover it up, but it does cover up a little acne scar on this side. So now let's check in. The time is 12:45, so this is when my foundation is applied on my face, and I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and come back and check in with you guys. Okay guys, so I'm back with the full face makeup on. I did spend some time, an hour I would say, to do my makeup, and it has been a while doing my makeup. So now the time is 1:52. So I did spend an hour and kind of experience with makeup. I haven't been doing my eyeshadow for a very long time, and since last year December I have my last extension. I just stopped using eye makeup, and now 2 months later I'm back, and I did got this NARS, what's it called, eyeshadow palette, Wanted eyeshadow palette. So this is the eyeshadow that I used on my eye, and in this palette I did use the most neutral color. I used these 3 shades right here and this darkest shade, and I also did use the shimmer green color on my lower eyelash line right here. You can't really tell, but I want to experience more color on the eyeshadow than I just starting with this greenish shimmer color. And I'm loving this eyeshadow shades and everything. I like how it blends and the color range, everything. And I believe this is my first NARS eyeshadow palette that I own, so I'm very happy about it. So in this makeup look, I did use a lot of new makeup that I purchased recently. So on my blush, I'm using the Bare Minerals powder blush in Let's Go Nude. I'm loving how it looks, very natural color. And for highlighter today, I did use a new highlighter. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys might watch my Insta story. And I recently just purchased this Anastasia highlighter with crossover emeries. I'm not pushing it. Yeah, this is the most perfect highlighter. I love the shade, I love how the texture, I love how it blends, and I'm pretty sure this will go to my March favorites video. And something about this formula, I feel like even though you just scrub this out with the highlighter brush, I don't think it has the powder come out. It's just a very nice formula, and I feel like it suits my light medium skin tone. And I don't know how it works with dark skin, but I'm sure you'll like it with the formula. And underneath on this highlighter, I did use my Marc Jacobs Duo U. And this is the highlighter drop that I purchased last year, and I did a whole video on review on this highlighter. You guys can check it out. And I saw one comment on that video recently. Someone asked me if I still use this highlighter, and yes, I do, but I like to use this more in the summertime because with the sunshine and summery look, I feel like this will shows more on my skin. But then I really like how it looks underneath with this highlighter. It just looks very natural within the glow, and it's not super harsh. And I don't know why I get carried away talking about all the products I've been trying, and I'm very excited to try out all this new makeup. But come back to the foundation review on this an hour, how it sits on my skin. And at first I'm very scared to try this out because I'm sure this is a matte finish, and nowadays I don't get as oily as I used to because the weather is still getting really dry here in the Bay Area, and it feels a little bit dry on this area. On my forehead it shows up my lines. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and let you guys know how it looks. So on my chin area it's looking a little bit dry. It shows up my pores a little, and especially on my nose area where I get allergy all the time and I'm just constantly blowing my nose, so it's a little bit dry and it kind of form a little bit line on my, what's it called, on this area. It shows up my pores on the tips of my nose. But then other than that, this foundation is looking very matte. It doesn't feel like it transfer on my face, and I did set it with a little Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder because I'm scared I'm gonna get oily after 4 hours because I'm gonna go out later on. And for now, I would say this is a very matte finish, and it kind of shows up my little fine lines on my forehead that usually doesn't happen with my other foundation. But then I really like how it looks very natural. It still gives you a very nice medium coverage. And on my blemishes, I did use my Tarte Shape Tape to kind of conceal it and just give it another layer just to cover up my redness. Also want to quickly mention how this bottle, how the presentation of this foundation, first of all, it has kind of like a silver kind of finish cap, and I'm pretty sure it's plastic. And also this bottle is plastic, so if you guys are traveling with this foundation, it will be not easy to break through. It's not a glass bottle. And to open this, you just have to twist the cap and you squeeze out the product out of this bottle. And I have to say I hate this packaging because it's just really hard to squeeze out the product, and it's just a very hard kind of plastic, and with the shape it's just hard to squeeze out the product inside the bottle. So this design, I would say, is a fail, but it's travel friendly, so what else you can ask for? And also with the price range, I feel like CoverFX can do a better design on the bottle, and $44 is expensive for a foundation with 1.18 fluid ounce in this foundation, which is 35 milliliters. You get a little bit more on typical foundation, but to squeeze out this foundation is really hard. So now it has been an hour and I think it's still looking good with this foundation. So I'm gonna check back in with you guys in the 3 hours mark and see how my natural oil kind of mixed with the foundation. And I'm gonna check back in another 8 hours mark for the final check-in to see what's my thought on this foundation and how it reacts to my combination to oily skin. I would say this day I'm more on a combination. So I'll see you guys later. So it has been, I would say 5.5 hours since I wear this foundation, and guys, it should be nice on my face if I don't have dry skin over here, but when I do, it just looks like the pore is showing up on my skin with the foundation, if that makes sense. So on the rest of my face, my forehead area and on my cheek area, everything except this area right here, it looks super natural, super nice, and I don't have oil come through yet because again these days it's a little bit dry. I want to say this part of my face and this part of my face looks very nice, very flawless, and I'm liking how it looks, except this area where I do get dry. So usually with the foundation that I have, I like to mix it with something like this, like more hydrating side. I haven't tried this yet, but I do need something like this to mix it with my foundation on this area because I do get dry and it doesn't look nice, and it just kind of creep me out sometimes because my pores, like every single pores on my face on this area is showing up with the foundation. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys know what I'm talking about, but right now I'm liking the finish around my face with my normal skin type except my dry area. So this is my midday review on this foundation, and right now I'm liking how it looks on my normal skin area, except this area again. So I'm gonna see you guys later on at the end of the day, and until I'll say at 8 o'clock, around 9. I'll see when do I want to take this makeup off, and I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, so I'm ready for my final thoughts. I'm ready to take this makeup off, and now the time is 10:08. So it has been 9 hours and 45 minutes since I have this foundation on my face, and I have to say, with my normal oily skin, I'm liking this foundation because, as I said earlier, on this area of my face I'm getting really dry up, and on the rest of my face it feels very normal, and I can see a little lines right here on my forehead. I don't know if that because my usual oily skin wasn't too oily, or it just kind of exaggerate my fine lines, and I don't usually have that issues with my other foundation. And the rest of my face is looking very nice, and considering for 9 hours my oil didn't peek through at all, I'm liking how it is, and I feel like it will work better during the summertime when I have my natural oily skin come back. But for now I'm on a combo side, and I want to zoom you guys in a little on this area. It's just not looking good with my dry skin. There's a little foundation off of my nose because I do have allergy, and on this area because I just had some dinner, I just sweat off my mouth. And I have to say, my contour, my blush, my highlight is still on. It's looking very nice. It's just my chin area around my mouth, my nose, where I get very dry. It just kind of cling to my pores. And again, I want to say it wasn't because the foundation making me look like this on this area. I have to claim it's because of my dry skin on this area, and that's something that it's been weird and what has been going on my face issues right now. But if you guys watch my Catrix foundation, HD foundation 24 hours review, you guys see the same thing happen on this area. So that is my skin problem, because on the second review I did, and it just worked perfectly. It's just something that I need to work underneath my skin to know what I have to put before using the foundation. And it's kind of like a try and error. It's not something that is perfect all the time on the first impression. And yeah, I have to say I'm liking this foundation, and especially I think I will like it more in the summertime. And I want to try this foundation out more and see how to work with my dry area right here. Maybe I have to put more moisturizer, or I may have to kind of do a little mixture here with the L'Oreal Hydrating Infallible foundation or something else. I have to say, during the day I did use my MAC Fix Plus spray, and I did this spray before applying my setting powder and after my setting powder, and also during the day on this specific area, but it still gets very dry, and I don't know why it's that. But yeah, I'm liking this foundation. With the price, it's pretty expensive, $44, and with how many pumps that I use, I think I used 2.5 pumps, and that's quite a lot for a medium coverage. So I'm gonna see if that's because my sponge, or is that because the foundation. So that's something that I have to do more on the investigation and try and error. So yeah, I'm liking it now. Okay guys, so that is all the review and thoughts on this foundation, and I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. If you guys do, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe down below. Also, if you guys did try out this foundation, you have any thoughts, any questions on this foundation, please leave a comment down below, and I'll be go through all the comments. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!